Wednesday afternoon, and I have kids program at church tonight. It's still going on, but I talked this morning about flooding and how it affected our house, but also it tends to affect our church pretty greatly, specifically the basement area, which is where a lot of the kid activities take place. So something to be conscious of. But the staff there checked it out. They said everything's workable, so we're gonna go ahead and have the event tonight. I'd be lying if I said that my brain wasn't on the flooding at home that I'll have to deal with when I get there. I'm hoping that I can pull into the driveway water-free, but that remains to be seen. But today I did talk about rain with the students. It was part of our science lesson. We're in a unit on water and weather and how water affects our weather and all those good things that it does for us, and how we can use water to kind of predict what's going to happen and forecast things. But one thing we talked about was how to make it rain, and then we theorized some ideas on how to make it stop. So essentially there are two weather researchers, Schaefer and Vonnegut, that theorized that introducing dry ice and silver iodide into the atmosphere, into clouds specifically, can cause it to rain and or snow almost instantaneously. And so that can help alleviate some drought problems. But also, we theorized, like I said, some ways to make it stop raining. If we can find ways to make it rain by causing moisture in the clouds to condense and get heavier, and essentially have the sponge that is the cloud squeeze water out of it and cause it to rain and or snow, then there's got to be a way to do the opposite, right? And basically what we came up with as a class, whether it's valid or not remains to be seen. We don't have the resources to fund a whole research project at the 4th grade level on this, but to allow the clouds to grow in size. If you're introducing dry ice and silver iodide, then you're adding more pressure into the cloud, taking up the space of the water vapor that's in there, causing it to condense, liquefy, and fall. So to do the opposite, you would need to introduce heat to cause more vapor, to create more clouds, to hold more moisture, which then doesn't allow it to fall. Again, if you think of it like a sponge, small sponge holds a little water, same amount of water in a bigger sponge doesn't fall out quite as easily. So that was the theory we came up with. How to make the clouds bigger would be to introduce heat to the moisture that's falling, the rain, causing it to evaporate as it's falling or as it hits the ground, and immediately go back up into the air, creating more clouds, which then holds more water, which then causes less to fall. All of this obviously very relevant to the rain that fell in the past couple of days around us and caused some flood-like situations. So, just something to be thinking about. We have ways to make it rain. Theoretically, we can come up with ways to make it stop. But in my opinion, neither of those is our responsibility. The weather's going to do what it's going to do. So, just something to be thinking about, to have in the back of your mind as, never thought about that before. All right, see you tomorrow.